Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
Scott.
Hey, yo. Is that his younger brother? It's gonna be
Jeff.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah.
And you're listening to
all of the great action figures from our good friends at Hasbro.
The Fullyposeable.
Have your own WrestleMania with all your favorite figures.
Wrestling figure.
Each sold separately from LJN.
Podcast.
And we are the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling.
Hey, welcome to episode 539 of the Fullyposeable Wrestling Figure Podcast, longest running episodic wrestling figure podcast going today. My name is Jeff, and sitting alongside next to me is my real life brother, not storyline brother, Scott. Scott, say hello.
Hello.
Scott, what's going on, dude?
Man, I want to take a moment and just a heartfelt sorry to all the Kyle Busch fans out there. A few hours before we recorded tonight, the news broke that Kyle Busch passed away. And if you're like, well, this isn't wrestling, well, it kind of is. He was a 24/7 champion.
That's right. Good point, dude.
He is in the annals of WWE history now. He was a title holder. So, man, I know Ethan and Soda, huge NASCAR fans. Ethan specifically, Kyle Busch's favorite driver. And just my heart goes out to all the fans out there of Kyle Busch. And man, we were talking before we started recording, and, you know, I equated it to when Ace Frehley passed, and some of the feelings that were being described to me, I could totally relate to. And, you know, for what worked for me is, first off, I did not want to podcast that night. You covered the Sean interview that night, but I just immersed myself in Ace's work. You know, he left behind a legacy. And so I immersed myself in it. You know, I was online looking at pictures. I had his YouTube videos going. It was all the old Kiss stuff, and just kind of like drowning myself in Ace's legacy. It really helped out a lot. And then especially at that time, we had the Kiss Cruise right around the corner. It was only like a week after he had passed that the Kiss Cruise happened. And so there was a big celebration of life there for him, which was great. But yeah, to all the fans of Kyle Busch out there, man, my heart goes out to you. Just celebrate his legacy. He left behind a great body of work for you guys. So just watch his races. If you have his memorabilia, just stare and admire it. And just my heart goes out to you guys.
There aren't many Kyle Busch. I don't mean this in a bad way, but there's not many people that are indifferent on Kyle Busch. They either loved him or they hated him. He was polarizing.
He was the Yankees of NASCAR.
He was the John Cena, except he was the heel.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of people that loved him, and there was a lot of people that hated him. But I'll tell you what, everybody that loved and hated him are going through it today for NASCAR fans in general. But there's a huge community out there for you. Wrestling fans have been through this numerous times, unfortunately. I hate saying that, but we've all been through that before. One of our favorite wrestlers or somebody we grew up with has passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And, you know, they go back and watch old matches. They pop on the network. I shouldn't say the network, but they pop on YouTube and go back and watch old interviews with the wrestler or whatever it may be. Like you did with Ace, Scott, a lot of fans will do that with wrestling for the wrestler that just recently passed. They'll go submerge themselves in some type of media entertainment to bring back those happy memories and those memories of that wrestler. Talking with Soda today, he kind of equated it to Bray Wyatt when Bray Wyatt passed. And that's actually a very good comparison, because it's almost eerily, I'm not going to say eerily the same, you know, it's not the same scenario. We don't know what happened with Kyle, but at this
age-wise though.
Yeah, age-wise, you know, just stuff like that. But Soda was 100% correct. It's kind of similar to Bray, and you go through those same emotions with Bray. You just watched anything you could of Bray, you know, WWE stuff, his Instagram where he was being heartfelt to fans. You know, he would post something for fans or whatever it may be, because he had just such a kind soul. So anyways, like you said, Scott, man, heart goes out to all the Kyle Busch fans out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And last week, you kind of blindsided me with, just switching gears. You blindsided me with that Hall of Fame question. And when you brought up Scott Rowland not being worthy of the Hall of Fame, literally the first thing that popped into my head was, we're going to get a message from Rad Chad. And sure as shit, instant messenger comes across to you and I. And I was like, dude, You were the first person I thought of, and you were like, I was expecting you, sir.
Well, to me, Scott Rowland is, and Chad put it into Chat GPT, and Chat GPT did make a convincing argument. I will say that for Scott Rowland to be in the Hall of Fame. But in my eyes, if I was a voter, he would not have gotten my check mark. And you know what? ChatGPT made a very good point. He had what was it, a 70 war or around a 70 war?
So that's the biggest, from my understanding, that is one of the biggest, if not the biggest, determining factor of whether or not you're going to get into the Hall of Fame, right? It goes by season and it goes by overall once you retire. So after you asked me that question, I had to do kind of not necessarily like a deep dive, but like, let's try to find some names that aren't Hall of Fame worthy in the mind of like other baseball fans out there. And you know, the one that kept popping up?
Who?
Harold Baines. I wonder if ChatGPT could make a strong case for Harold Baines, because you mentioned WAR, which is like the biggest determining factor of getting into the Hall of Fame or not getting into the Hall of Fame, from what I understand. And from what I was reading, Harold Baines never had a WAR above 5 in any given season. Now, when you play long enough, obviously you're going to accumulate your WAR over time, but per season, he never had one higher than 5. And that's interesting to me. Another name that popped up that was super surprising, Kirby Puckett. Because of his short playing career. See, I agree with you, but by the same token, Kirby Puckett's in the Hall, short playing career. Don Mattingly should be in the Hall, short playing career. And their numbers were damn close.
Oh, really?
Yes. Go look at their numbers, dude. In Mattingly's strongest seasons compared to Puckett's strongest seasons, it's almost a wash.
Brian from the Legendary Podcast, he agrees with you about Mattingly. He also says Will Clark, but I even being the biggest Will Clark fan there is, I can't agree with that one. But Don Mattingly,
I think he is personally. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
There's arguments to be made for Mattingly. There are people that say no. And it's actually kind of surprising Mattingly isn't in the Hall, because he is a New York-based guy. So you would think the New York beat writers would be all over that one. But
Keith Hernandez as well, which I'm sure Rad Chad would agree with me on that one. That's a St. Louis guy and a New York guy.
Yep.
So
also, a lot of people agreed with you about Jeff Kent, and Jeff Kent shouldn't be in the Hall. I
wonder if Jeff Kent was one of those people who's like, yeah, dude, that Jeff Kent guy doesn't belong in the Hall. We agree, Jeff. He
was sending me a message from Kef Gent 21. Yeah. No, number 12. He was number 21. But
Kef Gent 2B.
He did get an MVP, but I mean, again, we go back to that question of how much did Bonds play into that? So
yeah, and that's a name that I think is, I mean, if you had to pick one name that isn't in the Hall that should be,
it's Bonds.
It's just the biggest glaring omission.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a damn shame, just because they put the stink eye on steroids, and I don't think that they should. It is Bonds, dude. Barry Bonds, you look at those crazy numbers that he had. The guys need to just get over it. Stop being so damn stodgy about your picks. Get over the steroid era. It brought baseball back. Give it its props, man.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't have done it. Fine. Say what you will. They still play the seasons. They still had world champions, and they still hit the crap out of that baseball and kept the sport alive, my opinion, through dark times. Like after the strike, fans were not going to go back to the game.
Mm-hmm.
They were pissed off, and rightfully so. They should have been. But I'll tell you what, Bonds and Sosa saved baseball, and in turn, steroids saved baseball, dude. I'll never forget that shirt that was being worn around like the 98-99 season. Chicks dig the long ball. And it wasn't just chicks. Dudes dug the long ball too. And the fans came back and they turned out. So you've got to stop throwing shade on the steroid era and give those guys their props. If you want to go from the hitter side, it's Bonds. If you want to go from the pitching side, Roger Clemens.
Yep. Much agreed with you on that one. They're setting their own low bar with Scott Rowland. All right. If you would like to get any of our shirts.
Well, hey, let's turn it back to wrestling real quick. We'll turn it back to wrestling. You know who else should be in the Hall?
Who?
Pete Rose, who was at multiple WrestleManias, one time as the San Diego Chicken. So there's your tie to wrestling for you people who are like, this isn't wrestling figures or wrestling. Well, there you go. There's your tie.
And we need a Pete Rose figure.
100% agree with you. We need a Pete Rose figure. That would be a good Build-A-Figure.
Oh, dude, we would be like Randy Marsh in that computer chair if they said the San Diego Comic-Con was Pete Rose as the San Diego Chicken.
Oh, take all of my money.
Yeah.
And my house. Give me that figure, please.
Oh, dude, we would be like kids in a candy store.
Oh, heck yeah. You know, if they did a Build-A-Figure Pete Rose, though, and you had to buy, and the 4 figures that you had to buy were Chris Masters in 4 different colored trunks, I would do it.
Chris Masters in 4 different colored trunks.
I loathe Chris Masters.
I know you
He's
do.
like my least favorite wrestler of all time. But if I had to buy 4 Chris Masters figures to get a Pete Rose Build-A-Figure, and then I had to buy a 5th one just to get the San Diego Chicken head, I would do it.
That'd be cool if it was a Kane Pete Rose 2-pack.
That would be amazing. That would be absolutely incredible if they could pull that off.
Okay, here's the question for you, and actually a question for a lot of people out there. What would you rather have? Mike Tyson Ultimate Edition or a Pete Rose Ultimate Edition?
Can I just say yes?
Let's just say the Pete Rose figure comes with the San Diego Chicken outfit, comes with the suit that he wore at WrestleMania 14. What else? Because he was at 3 WrestleManias or 2.
I think he was at 2 in his like announcing attire. And then I think 1 is the chicken. Here, you know what? We've got this little. Hey Siri, how many WrestleManias was Pete Rose at? It was 3. Appeared at 3 WrestleMania pay-per-views, 98, 99, and 2000.
That's right.
Oh, and he got paid $50,000 for a single appearance at WrestleMania.
So you got $150,000 for 3 WrestleManias.
Yeah, so he was at 3. So yeah, I think, man, to answer your question, I got to go Pete Rose. As much as I would love to have a Mike Tyson in the collection, I think Pete Rose being at 3 WrestleManias, 2 as an announcer, and when he was making fun of Bill Buckner,
that was I left tickets for Bill Buckner, but he couldn't bend down to pick them up.
He went through his legs. Hey, how about it? That was fantastic. Oh, as a Yankees fan, I was loving every minute of that. I was loving it. So I've got to give Pete his due. I'm going Ultimate Pete Rose, please.
All right. If you'd like to get any of our shirts, head on over to Pro Wrestling Tees or whatamaneuver.net. You guys know where to follow us on all the social medias. You guys know where to follow our podcast, where to go back and listen to any of our past podcasts, I should say. Please rate and review and subscribe on iTunes. And if you'd like to send us any audio questions, or anything else at all, send on over to fullyposablewfp@gmail.com. Similar to Josh Thompson. Scott, Josh Thompson has trivia for us.
Uh-oh, here we go.
All right. Okay. I've got to cover up the answers. So this week's trivia is going to be Lucha Libre based. Oh, we're boned.
Oh, I'm screwed. Yeah.
Relax. I'm sticking to WWE and WCW Lucha guys. Then again, I did trip you up with the Rey Mysterio Flash figure. Look, I'm sorry, boys, but how obsessed I've been over Mattel remaking that figure, especially now that they're buddy with DC. I'm surprised you guys got that one wrong. Me too. Anyways.
Me too.
Question 1. Speaking of Rey Mysterio, how did his best friend rival earn that No Way Out title match against Brock Lesnar? A, he beat Kurt Angle on SmackDown. B, he beat John Cena on SmackDown. C, he beat Big Show and Kurt Angle in a triple threat match on SmackDown. D, he won a 15-man Royal Rumble match on SmackDown. So if I'm
going to go with D on that one.
Wait, you're going D as in dog or B as in boy?
D as in dog.
I think you're right. If I remember, yeah, I think you're right, actually.
All of that was such a blur, to be 100% honest with you. That was such like,
there was so,
because Benoit won the Rumble that year, right?
Correct.
Because that was 2004. And then Eddie won the title at No Way Out in February, which was between Rumble and WrestleMania.
Correct. And then he faced Angle.
He faced Angle at 20. Right.
Okay. Yeah. I want to say that there was a battle royal, or he said Royal Rumble, but I mean, either or. I mean, it's just separated by 2 minutes per person.
Yeah. I'm going to guess I'm going to guess D as in David.
Okay.
As in Big Dave.
Question 2, true or false? Jeff's favorite company, Toy Biz, made at least one La Parka figure when they had the WCW license.
That's false. They didn't make La Parka. They should have.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Did they make any luchadors outside of Rey Mysterio?
They made Rey a couple times. They actually did them with no mask. And then they did a little tiny like Ray, but not supposed to be Ray with the giant.
Yeah. With Big Show.
That was
stuff.
weird.
Okay. Answers. 1, D. Hoping this didn't trip you guys up as whilst it is kind of obscure. It's also
Nice.
it's also available to watch on WWE's Vault channel on YouTube. So yeah, you were right, dude. And
Sweet.
I think I remember that. I remember watching that. Yeah. Number 2, false. If it makes you feel better, Jeff, I got to side with you on the Toy Biz hate. At least Bill wants to give us an ultimate La Parka if he's available. Meanwhile, Toy Biz was too busy making actual Hitman heart and keychain figures.
They did do a badass Vampiro though, so let's give them their props.
And Sting.
Well, maybe if he wants to go like luchador, like
wrestlers
from Mexico,
yes,
their Vampiro was off the hook good.
Yes. You're right.
And it actually had like, if I remember correctly, it had like yarn or cloth hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that figure was awesome. I actually found it at the KB here in Tracy.
It was not as good as Doink's hair from the purple card Hasbro, but
of course not. But that might be where they got the idea.
Oh, very true. Very true.
There's not a lot of those figures that have been produced over the years.
Hold on. I just got a text message. Scott Rowland still doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. Okay. All right. Back to, sorry. Love you, Chad.
Nice.
Love you, Chad.
He already warned you, dude. You keep going. You're going to get those hands and not his, Keith's.
Yeah. He's sending Keith after us, man. That's not cool.
Yep.
I can handle Chad. I just, Keith, like I'm booking running the other way, dude.
Yeah. The wrath of Baracus. Here comes the pain.
I too love Scott Rowland. All right. A couple little wrestling tidbit newses. That's plural.
Newsies.
Multiple newses. All right. Mick Foley is now with AEW, dude.
Yeah. Show of hands. Who didn't see that coming? Nobody? Okay, good. I'm proud of you guys.
Well, it was under our assumption that Mick was actually going to be taken off from WWE. We thought it was going to be like sometime this summer, June, July.
I thought it was mid-June specifically. So this news did catch me off guard in terms of the timing of it.
So they are still making Mick Foley figures. We have seen those. They showed those off at the World. So those figures are still slated to come. But
the Ultimate Cactus Jack is already hitting shelves in Walmarts.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Not Rad Chad, but Chad Ecto Young in our Facebook group brought up a great point. Like, grab them while you can, because those could be the last Foley figures that you see for a very long time, considering Jazzwares is out of the game now. So get those Foley / Cactus Jack / Mankind figures out there while you can.
Well, you still believe that Boss Fight is going to make a play.
I do, but who knows when we're going to see that, and who knows what format they're going to be in. So that's all up in the air, but it's going to be a long time before we see Mick Foley figures back out there. So that Ultimate is on your shelves at Walmart now, or will be soon. So you guys will want to jump on that, but I'm super happy for Mick. I think it's a great signing. He seems to really get along with Tony Khan. He knows a lot of the guys over there already, Edge, Jericho, Christian. So it's not like he's going to go in as an unknown, and he takes quite a name with him too. And I think he's a good brand ambassador. So I'm happy for Mick.
And another sad piece of news. Marty Jannetty had his foot amputated, huh?
Yeah, dude. When we saw him at WrestleCon 2 years ago.
Last year.
Last year. Watching him walk around, because we were there like early, right? Like the night before WrestleCon started, we were there. We saw Marty Jannetty walking around in the lobby, and he just did not look like he was feeling good at all. He looked like he was laboring to walk, and your heart just went out to the guy. I didn't know what was wrong with him, but now, foot amputated. So it's rough, man. You watch these guys that you grew up watching, and it goes back to the Kyle Busch conversation earlier. These guys that you grew up watching, and bad stuff starts to happen to him, your heart just goes out to him. Mm-hmm. We knew something was wrong when we saw him at the hotel in Vegas last year at the Westgate. And just, gosh, man, you think of all those matches he had with Shawn Michaels, just those barn burners with Buddy Rose and Doug Summers and the Hart Foundation, and such great matches. And then you see him now and he's just broken down, and he's, foot amputated. It just sucks, man. It just sucks. Heart goes out to him. I hope all the best. And Ultimately, I really hope that WWE is able to do something for him.
Mhm.
This is outside of wrestling figures and wanting a Marty to go with that new Sean coming out, which would be great if WWE could make that happen. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But just hopefully they're able to help him out and just take care of him, man. He did so much for the company. Just do something for him.
Goes back to our Hall of Fame talk again, because we hope that they can put the Rockers into the Hall of Fame. That would be, we mentioned it, was it last week or the week before, but that would be Sean's third ring.
You think Marty Jannetty deserves to go to the Hall as Marty Jannetty, or would it have to be half of the Midnight Rockers / Rockers?
It would have to be half of the Midnight Rockers.
I agree with you.
Okay, solo career. I mean, he was an Intercontinental Champion.
If he didn't have so many start stops, I think that would have helped his case.
Yep.
And we know why he had the start stops, but
he wrestled in WCW. I mean, it was an okay solo career, but it has to be with Sean. That's the bottom line, is it has to be the Rockers going in, or the Midnight Rockers.
I agree with you. You don't want to take the Intercontinental title win away from him, but if he didn't have those demons that he did in his career, I mean, who knows? Because remember, he was going to do that comeback in 06. I think it was, when HBK did that lead up with Kurt Angle to WrestleMania 21.
05.
Oh, I'm sorry, 05. And Marty Jannetty became a part of that storyline.
Yeah.
And you're just thinking, like, man, if he had been able to continue from that solo run in, 93, all the way up until then, well, who knows what he would have accomplished? I'm sure there would have been a successful WCW run in there. He would have been a mid-card title holder. That would add to his resume. But unfortunately, that's not what we got with Marty. So I agree 100% with you that if Marty's going to go in, it's got to be with HBK.
Yeah. All right, Scott, did you pick up anything this past week?
Let's see. We did get in so I got a Monster High doll for Peyton and Shannon. It went on pre-order the day after we recorded last week.
Okay.
And I got super lucky. So they did a Monster High Killer Clowns doll.
Oh.
The movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space? You may or may not know that movie. Okay.
No, I know that.
Okay, that's got a huge cult following. It has a bunch of merch. Anyway, it's one of Shannon's favorite movies. She absolutely loves it. She made the kids sit through it, and I don't think they could have hated her more for making them do that, because I felt the same way.
So you got the Monster High doll for Shannon. You didn't get it for Peyton and Shannon. You got it for Shannon. It's
their shared collection. They've got a bunch, but they always go for those collector style, like a little bit higher priced, but movie property ones. Mm-hmm. Peyton's got a few of the run-of-the-mill characters like Draculaura, like she likes that, but they go for like the movie property ones. Not every one of them, but a good chunk of them. And so they just dropped the Killer Clown doll last Friday, and I was lucky enough to get one because I obviously, anytime these things go on sale, I've got them on my calendar. And so I get the pop-up at like 8:45. At 9:00, the doll goes on sale. So I jump on a Mattel Creations. I log in. I make sure I'm good to go. They actually have the little countdown on there. And so it's counting down. I jump on. Boom. 9:00 hits. I've immediately got it in my cart. I've immediately got the credit card information in there already populated. It's done. Doll's purchased. Literally like 2 minutes later, because I had that on my work calendar, by the way. One of my coworkers, Grady, saw it on the calendar. And we had something to do, but we purposely didn't do it because I had a 9:00 appointment to buy this Monster High doll. He comes in at like 9:03 and he's like, "Did you get it?" I go, "Yeah, we're good. We're good." And he goes, "What was it?" So I tell him what it was. And he's like, "You're kidding." I go, "No, dude, it's pretty cool, actually." He goes, "Oh man." He goes, "One of my good friends loves that movie and loves Monster High dolls. I need to let her know that this is happening." And as he's starting to text her, he goes, "Wait," because he's also a collector. He's big into Transformers. He goes, "Wait, is it still available?" And I go, "Yeah, I think so." Because the last few haven't sold out. They've done like big numbers of these things. Some are still available. Anyway, I jump back on. It's 9:06, gone.
Oh, damn.
I go, never mind, dude. All you're going to do is tease her with it at this point, because she's doing secondary market on these things.
Oh, damn, dude.
Yeah, already 9:06 gone. We already got the doll, and it's pretty cool, man. It's exactly what you would expect for the price point and what Mattel gives you.
When's Monster High going to do a Johnny Knoxville, Bam Margera, and a Ryan Dunn, and a Steve-O, and Wee Man?
Man?
Oh, yeah. When are those? Asking for our shared collection.
I think the movie's in June. I think those will be in July.
All right, cool.
Monster High Jackass dolls. I'd buy the whole set.
I'm shop ready, shop verify ready.
Yes, sir. I'd be all in on those. But outside of that, no, I didn't pick anything up.
Got it. You know what's funny was we've brought up numerous times the Hall of Fame on this show, and whether it's baseball or WWE. I was starting to get into my head while I was down and out this past weekend. Don't get me started on allergies. But anywho, I started to think in my head, usually around this time of the year, there's at least, I would say, a good 3-4 figures that you kind of know that are going to be on your top 11 at the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
It kind of occurred to me that I don't have any figures ready to go for my top 11 this year. Like I've mentioned, Stone Cold LJN could be on there. And then I mentioned one other that could be on there, but nothing is jumping out at me like, boom, that's figure of the year.
So you haven't seen the figure of the year yet. You've seen list makers, but you haven't seen the figure.
Until
I
got my Coco Beware Elite.
Very good. I'm still waiting on mine and Crush. Still waiting on those.
I'm going to give you credit because you called it about 6 or 7 months ago, maybe 6, 7. I don't know if that's still a thing.
Shit. Stop it.
But you called it a few months ago and said, when that Coco Beware Ultimate or Elite comes out, that is immediately going to be figure of the year. Got the Coco Beware Elite. It came in from Amazon with Frankie, the outfit, the glasses. Dude, I answered my own question when I opened that figure because I was like, that figure is going on to top 11 automatically. I was kind of starting to think of how I was going to ask you, like, is there any figures? I know we're not even 6 months in, but is there any figures that are even starting to maybe even be on your top 11 that even could break top 3?
Mr. Fuji Legends.
That's a good figure. Yeah.
I love that figure. The Jesse from that set too. And the Jesse Saturday Night's Main Event that came out with the no window packaging on the front, which was wild. Those are 3 of my favorites so far. And I'm dying to get my hands on that Coco. But I just had a feeling, given his ring attire and his entrance attire and Frankie, I just had a feeling that Mattel was going to knock that one out of the park, dude. And you're right. I did say when that one comes out, it's going to be a figure of the year candidate. So my question to you is, much like Frankie sitting at ringside on his perch, is Coco perched as your number 1 figure of 2011 so far?
As of right now, yes.
Wow.
And I know we've got a long ways to go. We've got a lot of big rubber guys to go. We've got a lot of third-party companies to go. I know we've got more Mattel. We haven't even hit San Diego Comic-Con, right?
Right.
But as of right now, yes, number 1 is Coco.
Wow, that's awesome, dude.
The figure is excellent, man. The figure is excellent. You called it. You said it was going to be an Ultimate Edition because you were kind of thinking Coliseum Collection. But that's
Collection,
okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. This Elite does not deter that it's not Ultimate Edition. Love this figure. It should sell out everywhere because of how good it is.
So I'd like to make another bold prediction.
Sure.
For the top 11, El Matador is probably going to be in the top 3 also.
You think so, huh?
I really think so. Once that figure starts hitting people's hands, I think El Matador is going to be a top 3.
Okay. All right. So yeah, I got the Coco in and that figure blew me away. So kudos to Mattel. Scott, kudos to you for making that prediction. It is excellent. I can't wait for you to see it.
So here's my dilemma. And I'm actually questioning if I want to buy a second Coco because Coco is still around, thankfully, and he can sign. So I think you just answered my question for me. I think I'm in the market for a second Coco. With as good as it is, I need a Coco autograph on the wall on that amazing looking figure.
Check Amazon.
Yeah, it's still up there. $24 right now.
Yeah.
So okay. I guess I'm going to jump on Amazon when we're done recording and I'm going to buy another Coco Beware. And what's funny is I'll get that one before my BBTS order.
Yeah, that's true. BTS, the Japanese boy band?
Not BTS, BBTS.
Oh. It's cool on Beavis and Butthead when Beavis was dancing to BTS.
That was awesome. And he knew the band members' names too. Butthead's like, what?
Beavis, I'm just disappointed in you.
Speaking of Beavis and Butthead, though, you got those Mondo figures in. And you sent Big Dave and I some pictures of them, and they just look so good. But I wish you had gotten the couch. That sucks.
So the figures went on pre-sale or pre-order, I should say. And I want to say it was November, December, or October, November, December. I was helping mom with dad because dad was not doing well at that time. And I was helping mom. I knew, and I said it on the show, they go on sale, pre-order this time. If you want the couch and the TV, it's this. You know, if you just want the figures, it's this price. And I said I wanted the couch and the TV, got sidetracked with mom and dad and missed out. And so it's okay. The figures look fantastic. There are other places that have it. I'm not sure if Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store have them still available.
I think BBTS still has them.
Okay. Don't skip on them if you're a huge Beavis and Butthead fan. They're excellent. They come with all the ultimates. Mattel's got me talking ultimates.
Ultimate Beavis and Butthead.
They have so many arms, so many accessories. The one that I have does not have the couch or the TV, but it does have a remote. It's got the frog baseball bat, toilet paper. It's got Beavis's cornholio. You can pose them as that. It's got multiple heads. You feel like you're getting your money's worth with these figures. So don't skip on these. Definitely recommended to get these.
Yeah, Mondo just seems to make an amazing product. It has a premium on it. It's not for everybody, but if, you know, as Ferris said in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, if you can afford it, it's so choice. So you sent the pictures. They just look great. And I'm actually wondering if on eBay or whatnot, you know, any one of those sites, I wonder if you're going to be able to find the couch and the TV to purchase separately, or if somebody can 3D print them and paint them. I don't know what the odds of that are, but I'm wondering if somebody's going to have them available.
You might be able to find them. You're going to probably have to pay a pretty penny on eBay for them, but I do wish I got the couch and the TV. It sucks, but at the same time, I'm very happy with the Mondo product that was received.
Good. That's awesome, dude. Yeah, they look great.
Oh, dude, they're fantastic, dude. And being a huge Beavis and Butthead fan, who, by the way, are going to Netflix in September.
You're kidding. They're leaving Paramount.
That's a great question. We don't know what they didn't say what exactly is going to Netflix. They just said Beavis and Butthead are going to Netflix. They didn't say
interesting.
They didn't say season 1, 2, 3. They didn't say
is it the old or the new?
Exactly. The movies. Okay. We don't know. But anyways, I'm hoping they put season 3 on there because Paramount Plus, those bastards haven't put season 3 up.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. They own Beavis and Butthead and they could put it on their streaming service. Anyways, all of us Beavis and Butthead fans are very choice about this.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that was happening, but that's great. That's cool. I'm glad it's going to be on Netflix.
Yep, that's coming in September. So, all right, let's jump into some pre-orders. Month of May pre-order Danny Davis in wrestling gear and Davey Boy Smith, the British Bulldog. Hurry up and get those because we're coming to the end of the month. So if you want any of those figures, make sure you pick those up. Also, don't forget about the Macho Mans they have. They have the Macho Man in purple. That's 1 of 1,000 and an evergreen Macho with a black background. And it's got Macho Man writing in the back.
Great looking packaging on that one.
Speaking of Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Nice package.
Pre-orders up on BTS.
Will you stop?
Sorry, BBTS. Boss Fight Studio, Solaire, Ultimo Dragon. Pick those up. Also, the Playmobiles, First Raw set, Attitude Era set, and the Rock Monster Truck. I got to say that Rock Monster Truck is excellent.
I wonder if there's anybody listening that's going to be buying those for their kids. Like if Travis's kids are interested in them or anybody that's got kids, I'd be interested in a review on them. I mean, I'm not going to buy them myself, but I haven't heard anything good or bad. So I'm hoping somebody picks them up.
Heath Slater's got kids. He should get them for his.
Very good point. Very good point. Playmobil should just send him stuff.
You'd think.
Because he's got kids.
Yeah. You'd think they would. Hassel Toys, Raven Regium, and Ahmed Johnson Regium as well. And also make sure you get in your order over at KWK for the May pre-orders. Great Sasuke, Hayabusa. Both figures are limited to 500 pieces each. J&J limited to 200 is Hayabusa in a pearl white version. That's limited to 200 over at J&J Figures.
You know, it was interesting, dude. Sean threw something out on his KWK social media. He asked a question basically asking everybody that collects his stuff, would you be interested in purchasing signed figures? If he were to host like a private signing and they were signing his stuff, would people be interested in that? He said that the numbers would have to justify it. But if there's enough interest, he's considering it. So if this sounds interesting to you, definitely hit up Sean's social media. Let him know.
Not a bad idea. I mean, there are some wrestlers that he has under contract that you wouldn't be able to, that probably won't be at a WrestleCon out here. Speaking of WrestleCon, Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Greg Gagne.
Mm-hmm.
The balls on that man.
Right? That's exactly what I thought. I was like, this motherfucker going to show up to a wrestling con. What does he think is going to happen? You're going to be in a room full of marks, some of them drinking, most likely, and you've probably stiffed them for money. And you're going to go sit at a table and try to sell them more stuff? Dude.
Hey, you know what? Balls on that man. I swear to God. Holy crap. And
you pasty bitch. I can't believe you are going to show up to a con and try to sell people more things when you haven't delivered on the thing you sold us 2 years ago.
Do you remember that movie Airplane? And when everybody was standing in line to slap the person?
Yes.
That's going to be the wrestling figure fans.
They're going to start charging for it. Oh man, the line's going to be longer than the Nerds Pie line in Revenge of the Nerds. I love it, dude. Waiting in line to slap the shit out of Greg Gagne.
Oh, no.
Oh man,
don't
that's
do
great.
that. Don't do that. Don't stand in line to slap Greg Gagne.
Somebody hit him with his yellow stupid boots.
But if you want to give him a piece of your mind, just know that while you're cutting that promo, it's on behalf of every wrestling figure fan that is going through it right now with that company. So
I hope he takes all of the shit, all of it.
And now we also do have to say Greg Gagne and Magnum TA are not part of Powertown. So you can give them a break there, but that doesn't explain the first few years. So,
He still has a stink on him.
So anyways, yeah, Greg Gagne is going to be there, dude.
Hey, dude, you want to go to Minneapolis?
Nope.
No. I just want to stand at his table and just look menacingly at him. I would never strike him, but I'd look at him quite cross.
Don't you want to get his AWA figure signed?
Not even a little bit, dude. Not even a little bit.
All right. Sam Adonis is also available at the Club Kayfabe exclusive for the month of May, limited to 100. All right, let's jump into the news. A little bit of other news. Let's start there. Mcfarlane is coming out with sports figures, and they look like articulated starting lineup figures.
Yes. So these are going to be everything that starting lineup wasn't. These are definitely going to have a more wallet-friendly price point. I'm sure they're not going to be $60 each, like those starting lineups that Hasbro tried to throw down our throats that weren't starting lineups. McFarlane has shown 4 pictures, and he's got NBA and NFL. The 2 NBA shown, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. The 2 NFL shown, Jerry Rice, which is in his 1994 Shadow Drop jersey, which is my favorite Niners jersey of all time, and Troy Aikman. Those were the 2 shown. And look, if you're coming at it from a nostalgia standpoint to sell these figures, you couldn't have picked, in my opinion, I mean, obviously you can't get Jordan. You couldn't have picked better names / rivalries to just, here's what we're going to do. You couldn't have picked 4 better pictures to throw out there to the NFL and the NBA fan base, because who are you selling these to primarily? You're not selling them to the kids. You're selling them to guys our age that are buying these toys, that grew up with those rivalries. We grew up with Magic and Bird rivalry. We grew up with the Niners and Cowboys rivalry. And that's what he's giving us in his first 4 pictures. Great selling technique. I'm already on board. I'm like, dude, I'm not even a football fan anymore, but I want that Jerry Rice. Like, I grew up idolizing that man. Like, I want that Rice figure. I know Big Dave's going to buy the Aikman.
No, he's going to buy Rice.
2 of them.
2 of them, yeah. One to open and one to get signed.
Right. Actually, technically he's going to buy 3. And one he can open and sleep next to it at nighttime. My little Jerry Rice. I love him. No Aikmans, though. But he knows who his audience is. And you got to give him props. He's not making current day guys, at least that we're aware of yet. He's going old school nostalgia, sell to the old heads like us. He knows who his target audience is. And man, he delivered in those 4 picks. 2 of the biggest rivalries in sports, Niners, Cowboys, Lakers Celtics, at least from the 80s and 90s. Those were huge rivalries. So I love it. I'm fully in on those things. And if you can get baseball too, oh my goodness.
Now, the question's going to become is, okay, now for the first series, he chose two teams that had rivalries. The Niners and Cowboys rivalry was insane in the early 90s.
Yep.
In the mid 80s, Lakers Celtic, that was also insane.
That was it.
Bird and Magic got a video game from Nintendo out of it, you know?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
And there was an EA Sports game called Lakers versus Celtics.
Lakers versus Celtics. That's right.
So what other rivalries from our early day could they do? Like, obviously they could go back to the early 2000s of Red Sox Yankees. I mean, that rivalry was a bloodbath. I mean, 70-year-old men were getting thrown around. Come on now.
I have to assume that if he had baseball, he would have shown. Well, I mean, he does the large scale baseball.
Yes.
A little bit larger, like his old school ones. But I don't know if he's going to do articulated baseball. I would figure, since he already has MLB, if he was going to do it in that format, we would have seen pictures of at least one.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm hoping it's Giants Dodgers, though. To answer your question, if he does a baseball one and it's just like two names, I'm hoping it's like Bonds and I don't know who was a 2000s Dodger.
Eric Gagne.
You could go Gagne. Yep.
They had one of the most infamous, like the most famous at bats ever.
Yeah. Bonds won.
Dead center.
A 2003 Dodger that was like just incredible. Kershaw wasn't on the map yet. I think you're right. It's probably Eric Gagne. But I mean, Giants Dodgers is a timeless rivalry.
Well, you could, if he goes hockey, he could go Claude Lemieux from the Avalanche and Darren McCarty from
Red Wings and Avalanche is another timeless rivalry. You can't beat it.
Yeah. Pistons, Lakers, you could put Isaiah with Kareem or something.
Yeah. Or if you don't have the rights to do Jordan, you could do Pippen, because Bulls and Pistons was a huge rivalry too. Pistons knocked the Bulls out of the playoffs, 3 years in a row before the Bulls finally knocked them off.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the well that he has to draw from for these names, if he's going to go old school, is, man, just throw them all at us. Us old heads are going to buy a lot of them, especially if the price point is user friendly and wallet friendly. We're all over these things. And he actually already does make an articulated hockey. So you've got to figure there's going to be more of these style of figures coming out from him. I just don't know if baseball is part of the mix yet, but you have to think that it will be at some point.
By the way, he does make articulated hockey. Check Ross if you're interested in any of those. My coworker Eric saw some of the Golden Knights at our Ross, and I was like, oh, you should have bought them and just thrown them into the bay.
You mean the Golden Showers?
The Golden Shower Knights? Screw them.
Yeah.
A-holes.
No offense to Vegas, but I hate your freaking hockey team.
Go Avs.
Oh, are they playing tonight?
No, they played last night. Unfortunately, Avs lost.
I saw that. They lost 4-2.
And speaking of playoffs, the Knicks are up 2-0. I just got the notification. The Knicks are up 2-0. So the uncursed Knicks are still a go right now.
Don't jinx it. They have to win 2 more, dude.
Dude, this is great. No, because of Danhausen, dude.
I know.
This is great. The fans are loving it. People all over social media are making a huge stink about this, but it's fantastic, dude. I mean, I love how
the Cavs fans are loving it.
Well, no, they're not happy.
Cleveland's like, F you, Danhausen.
They're going to give him human monies just to like put the curse back on or something, you know?
Dude, you know what's funny is he's going to be in Cleveland what Bret Hart was to the United States in 97. That's going to be like the only city they can't take Danhausen to is Cleveland, because they're going to crap all over Danhausen.
Well, he didn't curse Cleveland. He cursed Stephen A. Smith, but somebody paid him human monies to uncurse the Knicks. So he uncursed the Knicks, and now the Knicks haven't lost since he uncursed them.
Right, but now they're beating Cleveland. So he's not going to be able to show his face in Cleveland.
No, that's true. That's true. He's going to get booed out of the building.
Town he's going to get booed in.
Oh, this is great. I love it. But you know what? People are embracing it. People all over social media are making TikToks. They're making Instagram reels about it.
AEW had him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, they had a gold mine just sitting there, and WWE just managed to find the way to tap into it and just make a crap ton of human monies off of them.
You know what? And that goes back to things I've always said is there are things that work in AEW that didn't work in WWE. Ricochet's working in AEW.
Yeah.
FTR is killing it over in AEW. They were, I'm not going to say jokes, but they weren't utilized well over in WWE.
I agree with that. Not when they hit the main roster. In NXT, they were fantastic. Main roster,
And then when you flip that coin, Danhausen's the prime example of someone that went from AEW over to WWE and just struck gold.
Yeah, I'm super happy for that guy, man. Good for him.
All right. Continuing on, GI Joe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle crossover figures. Scott, do you have the list in front of you?
I don't, but there's a whole bunch of them and vehicles.
Okay, so I showed these to the coworkers. Dude, they fell in love with the Kang Destro.
It's really good.
Kang Destro and then Shredder as Cobra Commander was excellent.
Is Sean getting these?
I don't think so. Eric is on the fence.
Okay.
They walked away from it asking how much they were. There was no price point listed at the time.
Yeah. Well, they drop Sunday. The day this show drops, the pre-order drops.
Oh, where at?
May 24th. Pretty much pick a retailer. I would go like BBTS or Entertainment Earth, like one of those. Mm-hmm. I don't know about Target and Walmart, especially not Walmart. Target's probably going to have them too, but it said, I want to say 9 p.m. the 24th is what it said. It said 12 a.m. Eastern. So I think it's 9 p.m. here on the Pacific. Okay. And it's on, it said Sunday, May 24th at 12 a.m. Eastern. That was the specific time given. I don't know if that was a typo, but yeah, if you're interested in them, go do the pre-order. I would not suggest Walmart though.
Well, they will be available on shelves, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's jump over to wrestling. Nerds Closet, Road Warriors. So Nerds Closet is making another set of Road Warriors. However, they're in Zubaz pants.
Assholes. Stop it. Get your hand out of my wallet, please.
So what got you on these? Like, you sent me the picture and I was like, oh, those are really cool. And you were like, damn it, I want these. And I was like, whoa, I did not expect that.
It's one of those pictures of them that is, I don't know, it lives rent free in my head. Like I always remember the picture of them in the white Zubaz and the white shoulder pads because it was so unique at the time because you were used to seeing them in like black or black and red, darker colors. And then here they are in this stark white and it just popped. And I'm like, oh, they look hella cool in white. Like I wish they'd do more of that. And they never incorporated it as ring gear. They did gold, but they never incorporated white. So I've always like had that image in my head of Road Warriors in white. And I'm like, it would be really cool if they did figures of those one day. And Nerds Closet jumped on it. And it is a spitting image of that photo of Hawk and Animal in the Zubaz with the white shoulder pads. I'm like, man, just when I think I'm out on retros, they do something stupid like this and I'm right back in. No release date announced yet. They'll be up for pre-order soon, I'm sure. But just go check out Nerds Closet social media and damn it, I'm probably going to be in on that set, dude. They look so cool.
You are going to jump in, huh?
I think so. Yeah, they look so good.
That is Nerds Closet Road Warriors. And remember, Nerds Closet is always those cartoonish figures, but they look fantastic. So
the Matt Maniacs line.
Exactly. All right, Latuni, they showed off their giant series of Tito Santana. Now it's Tito Santana with long hair and black trunks. I'm not familiar with this Tito Santana look, dude.
No, I'm not either. And they put I was confused at first. The way that it was worded in the announcement was that it was Tito and Hogan. So I guess Tito wrestled Hogan when Hogan was a heel.
Yeah, this must be before our time.
Yeah, and Tito was in his black gear. Like you said, with Latuni, they're not going to go run of the mill, right? Like if you can count on them for anything, it's they will not be run of the mill looking like everybody else. They're going to go deep dive, even when it comes to Tito Santana. So they got Tito in his black gear on this one, I guess, from when he wrestled Hogan. That's before when I started watching wrestling. So if you're interested in Tito, he's up for pre-order right now on the Latuni site, $49.99.
And that's one thing I give Latuni credit on is they always think outside the box. Speaking of Latuni, they were on Brian's legendary wrestling figure podcast. So go check that out.
Excellent.
Yes, he was on there. Go check it out. A lot of information given. I won't spoil anything, but there is some news that's dropped on Brian's podcast. So go check that out. Legendary wrestling figure podcast or the LJN podcast.
Very cool. Thanks, Brian. Appreciate you getting him on. He's a good dude. A really good dude, clearly a huge wrestling fan with some deep knowledge. I'm glad he was on your show. You're the perfect guy to talk to him.
Okay, moving along to Top Rope Collectibles. There is a Van Hammer update. So as you guys know, Top Rope Collectibles got the rights to make Van Hammer. They had an update after his passing. After a lengthy conversation with the executor of Mark's estate, we are honored to move forward with the first ever Van Hammer action figure. Mark's passing came as a shock to the wrestling world, and we weren't sure how to best to proceed. We now have a clear path forward, and the first stage of modeling is almost complete. Sorry. We are committed to doing justice to Mark with this release, including additional accessories to make it something truly special. Rest easy, heavy metal. And that is the update from Top Rope Collectibles regarding Van Hammer.
I'm excited to see what that finished product is. I think they're going to do it justice. Van Hammer would have been perfect in the Galoob line. I'm excited to see what accessories come with it. Obviously, a guitar. You've got to think a hat is going to come with them too. So I'm excited to see the finished product on that one.
On Top Rope Collectibles post regarding that, there is a silhouette of Van Hammer, but it does have the top hat. So you are correct. It's almost guaranteed that it will be coming with the top hat.
And a guitar. Like if there's two things that identify Van Hammer, the hat and the guitar.
They need to make a keytar and make Revenge of the Nerds figures.
That would be incredible. That's a line that hasn't been done. To the best of my knowledge, they've never made Revenge of the Nerds figures. But it's one of those properties. It seems like a no-brainer, right? Mm-hmm. Such iconic characters from that first movie, and they've never been done.
Lambda.
Omega Mu. I would buy a Booger figure in a second.
Oh yeah, or not Booger. Who was the guy that just passed away? That was
Ogre.
Ogre, yeah. R.I.P. to Ogre on that one.
Yeah, it sucks, man. Again, guys that we grew up watching, and the 80s were a different time, right? You watch Revenge of the Nerds now, there's definitely a scene or two in there. You're like, oh, holy shit, you guys. The 80s really were different, weren't they? I'm not going to go into them, but you can watch the movie and figure it out on your own. But man, yeah, Ogre was so great in that. I would buy an Ogre and a Booger in a second.
And the keytar.
And Takashi on his little bicycle or tricycle thing with a little can of beer with him. I would buy that in a second. I'd be all over that.
Oh man, that's a Super 7 thing. That's something they should jump on.
100%. Revenge of the Nerds reaction figures, I think, would do really, really well. But unfortunately, we know that Super 7 has kind of pulled back the reins a little bit. I'm hoping they've kind of reformatted and gone into kind of recovery mode because they've closed their stores, and they're going to be able to kind of, as they gather, more funds in, I hope they're able to start pushing out more product.
All right, let's go over to WWE, but it's not WWE Mattel. It's WWE Baller Series. Now, what are Baller Series, Scott?
Reading your notes. Each capsule includes one figure, one mini poster, and additional surprise like championship belts to collect. Those are your notes.
Can you give a description of what the figures look like?
Oh, yeah, sure. So think they were in 2014, they did those blind boxes where you had to have the contra code to figure out who you were getting in the blind box. Think that, but instead of a box, it's like a ball capsule. Same kind of concept. Blind mystery figure. You don't know what you're getting, but there will be surprise figures, title belts, some pretty cool stuff. I'll probably grab one or two of these and just stick them on my desk. Desk displays, as you call them, Jeff.
Absolutely. 16 figures in the first series.
Yeah. But that's a big head count actually for a blind box set.
Right. John Cena. Now this isn't all 16, but it's John Cena, Undertaker, Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, CM Punk, Batista, Gunther, and Logan Paul. That was from the picture that you sent over. So it's not all 16, but it's something.
Yeah. And I'm really hoping like if they do a series 2, it's Legends. Because again, remember who's buying your toys? Us old heads that want to see Legends.
But us old heads aren't really buying desk displays that much. We're mainly buying their elite product. Well, I shouldn't say there, but because this is Ballers. We buy elites, we buy ultimate editions. We don't really buy these. Although I will say a lot of people jumped in on those slap bracelets that were the championship belts.
Yes.
A lot of people jumped in on those.
They did. And they're still buying them. So I think if series 1 does well and looks cool and has a friendly price point, because I haven't seen the price point on these yet, they could surprise you.
All right, that is it for the news. We're going to do a little bit more of Steve Ozer from 2019. Steve Ozer questions from 2019, I should say. First question came in from Rattlehead. He said, "Damn the Hitman Kid. Thanks for taking the time to put the Q&A on the first page. Only question I have is at one point, was Owen Hart really rumored to be part of the Mattel line? Thanks in advance, AFA." Steve said, "Was never possible." Next question came in from Second White Line. He said, "Are soft goods jackets like Finn's?" And when he said Finn, I think this was regarding Finn's Elite. Don't question it or don't quote me, but I want to say it was like Elite 70. There was a picture shown off of Finn in somebody's bag. And I want to say Bill took that picture. I don't know how many people remember that, but that's what he's referring to. Are soft goods jackets like Finn's going to be more common in the future? Are Io Shirai, not Io Shirai anymore,
Nope.
Kairi Sane in their current heel gear possibilities? Steve said, "You'll see soft goods included as frequently in the future as you have been over the past few years. It depends on the specifics of the figure and the particular series. Of course, they are possibilities. Anyone under a contract with merch rights is a possibility."
It's funny seeing Io's old name on there, huh? We haven't called her Io Shirai in a long time.
I think that's why I threw this question on there.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. And Kairi Sane now gone, and that sucks.
Yeah. Wrestling Fan 1000 said, "I got 3 questions. With Matt Hardy Epic Moments figure finally coming out with both his drone and boat, will we still see the lawnmower released anytime in the future?" Second question, any new news on the Paul Ellering figure getting released? Number 3, with there now being a Royal Rumble themed series, can we expect a Big Daddy V figure in that line, being that was at 2008 Royal Rumble? Trying to get the lawnmower out, but not in the cards just yet, Steve said. Steve said, same for Paul Ellering. Steve also said, Big Daddy V in a Rumble assortment? Probably not.
But we did get a King Mabel in a SummerSlam assortment, right?
Excellent figure. Dude, the deco on that one popped, and it still pops to this day, man.
Yeah, I love it. That was a SummerSlam assortment, right? Not a Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
It was. Okay. And then Ellering, we got as a Build-A-Figure.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was part of a WrestleMania series?
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was because China came with Rocco, I think.
Yeah, Edge was in that series, I think.
Yes. Okay. I remember that one. Yeah.
Yep.
So Paul Ellering was a Build-A-Figure, and I don't think we ever got the lawnmower, but we did get Mitch.
Yeah, we got Mitch the Plant. We got Rocco as well.
And we got Rocco. Yeah. Thank you, Mattel.
Next question came in from Wheeljack83. He said, "So here's my amended list of questions for Bill and Action Figure Attack. Number 1, can we expect more WCW title belt accessories a la WCW?" Wow, he asked a lot of questions. Why did I put all these in? This is ridiculous.
Filler, dude.
Oh, filler. Yeah. We got to remember, this is between the World and San Diego Comic-Con, so there ain't much news coming out, so we got filler.
So since there's so many questions, I say you read the question and then read the answer right after it.
Gotcha. All right, let's go back to that question. Can we expect more WCW title belts accessories a la WCW Ron Simmons circa 92 in the coming years? Steve said most likely.
And he nailed it. He followed up on that. We got Ron Simmons with the world title. We got Austin with the TV title. We have now, there's going to be the blue tag titles coming out. So lots of title belts.
Number 2, is there any chance that the figures from the Walmart flashback waves, such as Ricky Steamboat, could land elsewhere in other waves in the future? Steve said it could happen. 3, will the new Rick Rude Elite figure come with his black robe and IC title belt from SummerSlam 1989 event, or just the swappable hands? I think it could probably use the same black robe that was made for the SummerSlam 1990 Rick Rude figure that was made some years back. Steve said, he'll definitely have a robe and swappable hands. Anything else would be revealed when the physical figure is revealed.
No title belt, unfortunately.
Number 4, would you ever like to make an Elite Kerpel Kirshner action figure? Steve said, I mean, I would, but I highly doubt we'll ever get rights to him. Number 5, which is actually kind of sad. I wouldn't mind a Kerpel Kirshner figure.
I would love a Kirshner figure, dude.
Yeah, put him right next to Nikolai.
Yes.
Number 5, would it be possible to use early to mid 80s belt designs for the Intercontinental title or even the WWF World Championship? Like, are those rights to use those designs available. I really wouldn't mind having classic early 80s WWF designs for those belts. Steve said, we have rights to a few more classic titles that we are working on getting out. Just a matter of timing in the lineups.
Which they've done. They gave us the tarnished tag titles with the beefcake, and I believe Valentine did not come with the tarnished tag title.
No,
it was just beefcake.
Yep.
Brilliant marketing, by the way, because you had to buy 2 beefcakes.
Yep.
Just to get an extra title.
And think of all the heavyweight titles that they've come out with, like Bruno Sammartino's belt.
Yes.
They're coming out with Pat Patterson's original IC title.
Yes.
So there's a lot of IC titles that are, I should say titles, not IC titles specifically, that they're coming out with.
That's right.
Number 6, any possible for alternate strap designs for IC title belt accessories, such as Gold Dust Gold Strap, Shawn Michaels Blue Strap, etc. I love getting alternate strap colors for title belt accessories. Steve said, yeah, no reason that's off the table.
Well, they've done that with Warrior figures. We've gotten different colored title belts.
Yep. And last question, and I pulled this one just for Steve Fontas. How about an elite rugged Ronnie Garvin figure? Steve said, realistically, I doubt we'll get the rights to him.
I think what Steve is saying is, I'm sorry, not Steve. I think what AFA is saying is nobody wants Ronnie Garvin figures. So no.
Steve should say we're more likely to get Jimmy Garvin than Ronnie Garvin.
No, they're more likely to get Terry Garvin than Ron Garvin. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Sorry, Ron Garvin fans. No offense. No, take offense.
Next question came in from Fighter Hayabusa. He said, most of my wish lists have been answered over the years, including Royal Rumble 91 Savage. My main want is 96 Warrior with plain black paint and ball cap, or in an interview segment on Raw with Lawler. Can you please make that? Steve said, a little more unlikely, to be honest, but not impossible given time.
Wow.
So given time means 7 years.
That means 7 years. Exactly. So
Yep.
now we know when you have to say, give it time, that now means 7 years.
Yep.
In
So
AFA speak, that's 7 years.
So if you ask a question on the message boards and Steve does answer, because he's kind of gone MIA on the boards, just know that if you ask your question and he says, give it time, that means 7 years.
And it's going to happen. Just give it time.
Yeah. Hopefully you're still collecting.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, but just be patient. 7 years.
It'll happen. And I think he's been radio silent, dude. He's probably gearing up for San Diego Comic-Con.
I think he's also getting tired of like the same questions over and over, because you're getting a lot of the, hey, when are we going to get so-and-so? Can you still make this person?
Yeah.
You know, and I know there are the people on the message boards that do ask legitimate questions that are really good, but I will still say that you see a lot of those same questions, and this has gone on for almost 1,100 pages on Wrestling Figs message boards. So
yeah,
he's basically seen it all.
He really has. And, you know, he just had a massive WrestleMania showing, and he's getting ready to have a massive San Diego Comic-Con showing, I'm sure. So give him a nice little break in between to kind of reset and then show us the goods.
I will say that he used to be really good about right after WrestleCon. Check that. Right after WWE The World and after San Diego Comic-Con, he was really good about answering questions.
Yeah.
But he hasn't done that recently. So anyways, and last question came in from PJ. Action Figure Attack. Do you know if there are any more Surfer Sting figures in the works for next year? Steve said, this is not an announcement by any means, but of course there will be more Surfer Stings at some point. It's just a matter of timing. 7 years later, no more Surfer Stings, not even from Jazzwares.
Yeah, this is one of those instances where you're like, man, can you just come back over to the dark side for a little while? Just enough time to make some more figures, and then you can go back to AEW.
But if you think about it, what else is there left?
It's not a matter of what's left. It's a matter of how about we bring out more Sting figures, even if it's the same ones over again, for the people that either missed out, had to sell them, lost them, broke them, whatever. Restock your Sting figures. And then he can go back to AEW. Just long enough to give us some 6-inch Mattel figures. That's all we need. But, I mean, they didn't have Ultimate Edition when Sting was there. So with the inclusion of the Ultimate Edition line now, you've got to think that a Sting figure coming out in Ultimate Edition form would be absolutely incredible.
I do want to give Jazzwares their flowers. They did Sting correctly.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
And on top of that, when Mattel had the license, Mattel did an excellent job on their Sting figures. So my question is what else is there left? I mean, Jazzwares did right by him by making a ton of Sting figures, past, present.
They didn't really do a lot of Surfer Stings.
No,
that's
but
my
Mattel,
one knock.
But on the flip side of that coin is Mattel's done a good job on Surfer Stings. Like, is there more Surfer Stings in the books that still could be made?
No, but I think that if Mattel got the rights to do Sting again through WWE, an Ultimate Edition Great American Bash 1992 Sting would be amazing. Or no, not 92. It was 90?
90.
1990.
Yeah, I think it was 90. 90. Yeah.
Hold on.
No, it was 90. You're right.
Hey, Siri. When did Sting beat Ric Flair for the heavyweight title at the Great American Bash?
You love Siri.
I do. She knows everything. It was 90.
Yeah, it was 90.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 1990 Sting Ultimate Edition with the American jacket, the American face paint. You could have 3 different heads in there, full face paint, partial face paint, no face paint. I think there's so many possibilities now with the Ultimate Edition line, since they didn't have that when Sting was under the brand. I think that a Crow Sting Ultimate Edition would be incredible. I mean, plus, who's not going to buy more Surfer Stings? Even if you release the start of Mattel to the end of Mattel's run with Sting, if you re-release just all of those figures, they're going to move because it's Sting. And again, we didn't get a lot of Surfer Sting from Jazzwares, so I think the market's kind of lacking in those. I think it's great that we're going to get a BRG AEW Sting and a Surfer Sting from them. But man, if we're just going to get BRGs from Major, it's going to be a long time before we see anything in a 6-inch scale of Sting again. And that sucks. You know, we just talked about that happening with Foley because he's leaving WWE. We're going to be faced with that with Sting now because Jazzware's not making figures anymore. Who knows who's going to get the license and win? So we could be talking another 2 to 3 years without Sting figures. And that sucks. That really sucks.
Good point. So this is kind of a wish list. I would love for WWE to, or Mattel, if Sting were to ever come back, I have to kind of throw that caveat in there.
Yeah, it's a huge if too, because he loves AEW and Darby Allin.
Exactly. So if he were to ever come back and Mattel was ever get to rights, I would love for them to redo that Great American Bash figure. I think that Defining Moments was a huge swing and miss on Mattel's part. There were so many.
Agree. Yes.
There were so many errors with that figure. I think those errors would be corrected if they ever got that right to do them again.
No doubt about it. And here's the question too is, do you do that jacket kind of the way that they did Cody's on that Ultimate Edition Cody, where you have like the separate arms that have the jacket over it, and then you can slide the main chest part over the figure and then snap the arms on to look like the jacket? Or do you just do a soft goods, or you just go straight Polly Pocket style? I'm kind of curious how they would tackle that one.
The Polly Pocket style isn't bad. It's you go cloth. You have to go cloth.
Soft goods is the way to go. I agree 100%.
And you know that they will do every variation. They may try that Cody one. They may try soft goods, and then they may go back to the Polly Pocket. But personal opinion, as the jacket looked good in the Defining Moments, as much as it looked good in the Defining Moments, might want to go soft goods on that one.
Agree. But you have to think too, when they put that Great American Bash 90 Sting out, Defining Moments was kind of like the top of the line way to go, right? They didn't have Ultimate Editions then. So the format had to be Defining Moments if they were going to do that Sting figure. It wasn't going to be an Elite. It was definitely going to be a Defining Moments. And I agree with you. It was just lacking something. There were misses on that figure. As good as that Crow Sting was, the 90 Bash Sting was not. So I would love to see Mattel to get another stab at that figure. And I think Ultimate Edition would just absolutely be the way to go.
And also they need to get rid of Jelly Roll in Series 3 of LJNs. I don't know.
You know what would be cool, actually, if they got Sting back, and again, this is all just hypothetical because we know it's probably not going to happen. If they got Sting back, I think that he would be a great name for the Coliseum collection with their new format, because you could do Crow Sting in Toy Biz packaging, and you could do a Surfer Sting like the 1990 Sting in LJ or in Galoo packaging. You could do that one series because it's always two names. That could just be one series, two Stings.
Oh, dude, you know that thing would move like faster than you can blink an eye.
Absolutely. Or if you really wanted to get crazy with it, you could do OSFTM packaging.
I like the idea of Galoob and Toy Biz.
Or instead of Toy Biz, you could do vibrating.
Nah.
Would Mattel ever touch that? I don't think so.
No. That's in the garbage Hall of Fame.
Yeah, here's a Coliseum collection, Hall and Nash in vibrating figure packages.
That was our first NWO figures.
And we bought the whole set. Even Kevin Sullivan. We didn't care.
What did we do that for?
What does this red button do? Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my.
All right, that rounds out the show. And we want you guys to check out our friends over at the TB Toycast with Breaker and Travis. Also, check out the Positively Pro Wrestling podcast with Steve and Eric. Also, the Legendary Wrestling Figure podcast with Brian. As I mentioned, the Latuni guy was over there, so you might want to go check it out. A lot of news. I'm not going to spoil anything. I want you guys to go listen to it, but there is some news from Latuni over there, so go check it out. Work the Arm podcast with Jeff and Jamie. Pod Subject to Change with Nick Dunham and his son. Trivia with Buds, Ryan Buds. I hope you are doing well. Chick Foley Show and EJ and Rucker with Boot to the Face. And Scott, that rounds out episode 539. Anything else?
Stay safe, stay healthy. Fig Life since 2016. Happy toy hunting, and be good to each other out there.
Yes. And again, to all the Kyle Busch fans, sorry you're going through it, man. I've been watching a lot of NASCAR recently. I'll be honest, I was never a Kyle Busch fan, but today's news kind of hit all of us hard. So anyways, to everyone out there, hope you take solace in watching some old videos and everything with him. It does. So 461 episodes to 1,000. Adios.
Yeah. Fullyposeable. Let's go. Jeff and Scott, the Toon Brothers, busting out the ring, but we don't take it out the box. MOC. Happy toy hunting. We'll see you next week. We're the OGs of WFP. Fullyposeable. Thank you all for listening. It ain't no storyline, real life siblings. So everybody go and do your toy spotting. Hashtag Fig Life. Adios from the Kings.